New York One's New Yorker of the Week is sponsored by Staten Island University Hospital. The recipient of the Consumer Choice Award is the preferred hospital on Staten Island.
They're making a difference going school to help kids cope. There are New Yorkers of the Week.
How many people here said one prayer on 9/11 for all those people down there?
Hands shot up at the question. A clear sign from Mike Bellone and Bob Barrett that the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders at St. Patrick's Elementary School are still thinking about last September 11th. 8 months ago, the two men, one a medic, the other a former firefighter, got the idea to help children deal with their feelings and questions about the tragic event. After long shifts at the World Trade Center site, they would read letters sent to them and their team from children all over the world.
We would get chills knowing that all these kids were giving us such support, and we wanted to give something back.
So they began traveling to schools as far as Wisconsin and as close as St. Patrick's in Little Italy. They went wherever there was a request to speak before school assemblies.
Our assembly really isn't so much about what we can show them, but it's more about what we can get out of them. You know, what they can tell us, you know, what they can ask us, so that this way we can make them feel a little bit better.
They start by talking about the towers themselves and asking children the general questions, like what they think firefighters wear or what tools they use. But eventually the discussions turn to how the children are feeling.
It's important that they know what we think, because they're always asking adults and they never get the children's side of view.
We get to feel how they experienced 9/11 and to tell us that we support them. It feels very good, because I know we do. They think that was a very good idea for them to come here.
An hour and a half and dozens of answered questions later, Mike and Bob get ready to leave, but not before giving the principal at St. Patrick's a special surprise, a cross from the World Trade Center site.
We can't forget, and we can't let them forget, because they are the future.
After thanking the children for their messages of hope and love, Mike and Bob remind them they can always write to get all their questions answered, no matter how big or small. And they say they will continue to visit schools wherever they're needed.
I don't want to waste a minute of my life anymore. As long as they keep calling and asking me to go, I'll continue to do that.
And so, for continuing to answer the call, Mike Bellone and Bob Barrett are our New Yorkers of the Week. And a thank you to New York One's Yola Zubilski for writing and producing that segment for us. Well, without further delay, here they are, our New Yorkers of the Week, Mike Bellone and Bob Barrett. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations. You're doing some wonderful work.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for having us.
We want to start with the idea, I suppose. Who had the original idea to take this message to the schools?
Well, it was really both of us. I used to sleep over at St. Paul's Chapel just about every night, and that was a good place to stay. That was close by to the site, so whenever there was a call, we were always right there. And we just used to read these letters and all these cards that they used to tape on the pews and put on the walls. And Bob and I used to discuss what these people were talking about. I mean, these kids were talking about buildings blowing up and planes crashing, and you know, who's concerned about them? So Bob and I came up with an idea that maybe we should go by your school, and we did, and one turned into another, and before you know it, everyone's calling us.
And did you guys know each other before meeting at St. Paul's?
No.
No, we
As a matter of fact, we met that day.
We met on 9/11.
You met on 9/11?
Yeah.
And
on 9/11, by the way, I lost my best friend, who I worked with for 24 years, David Forge. And we worked together. He usually drove the front, and I drove the back. We have a tiller rig. But yet, on that day, I met Mike. So when a door closes, another door always opens up. But you have to be prepared for that to happen. You have to have your heart open to find something out of the tragedy. You always have to look for the light at the end of the tunnel.
you said in the piece, Bob, that you didn't want to waste another second of your life.
No. I think that these 343 firefighters proved to me that life is very precious, and I don't want to waste the gift that they gave us. They sacrificed their lives so that we can enjoy ours, and I don't want to ever forget that.
Well said. What type of questions are you hearing from these kids in these assemblies?
The main question is, how did we feel? And generally, when we tell them how we felt, that we were scared, and we were upset, and we were angry, and that generally validates their feelings. So once they see it came from somebody that was down there and they feel that there's someone that feels the same way they do, it's generally validated. So
another major question they ask us is, why did God let this happen?
Right.
And we explained to them that it wasn't God, it was godless people that did this. And God was with us all the time. He gave us great weather so that we can make recoveries. He gave us each other, good people to work with, people who respected each other and worked well together. And that's why we accomplished what we did. We finished in 9 months.
And no major injuries
with
in 9
no
months.
major injuries, and they had predicted it would take 2 years.
So he was with us, you know, and we
God
explained that
was
to
with us
them.
all the time.
Was there a moment during one of these assemblies where you said to yourselves, I can't believe the child just asked that question for good or for bad reasons?
Well, we knew early on that these, in order to formulate some of their questions, that they had to be thinking about this for quite some time. And that's why we felt that we had to give, as far as we're concerned, no answer is the worst answer. But any answer where you dig inside of yourself, it helps you also. It was both a medicine for us and for the children.
Tell me what you're up to now. You're going to various schools as long as they hear about your mission?
In fact, we just came back from Boston. We were at the Shriners Burn Center, and those nurses are unbelievable. Let me tell you the job they have. It was nothing compared to what I saw. I mean, those nurses really are unbelievable. I mean, those kids, when they saw us in there, it was like, you just can't imagine how great that they felt that there was somebody from New York City that came down to see them. It didn't matter who you were, just the fact that you came from down there, and they were just so happy. And
how'd you get the word out to Wisconsin? What's in Wisconsin?
Dave Dean, who's the captain of the Heartland Fire Department, came down in January, and him and I happened to hook up, and we corresponded back and forth. And Heartland is right outside of Milwaukee.
And there it
so he called us up, gave us an invitation, said come on down, and
well, we're going to put up your phone number, so if anyone's watching in the 5 boroughs and they want you to come to their schools, this is the chance to reach you. The group is called First Responder, and there's a number on your screen, 212-343-1134. Gentlemen, I have a feeling we can talk about this for much longer, but we are out of time, and the show's going to end if
Can I just say one thing? We're proud, we're proud being a New Yorker, no less the New Yorkers, but
the New Yorker of the Week really should be to every New Yorker, because down there on 9/11 we saw everybody, every human being possible, and they were all New Yorkers. So we just want to let New York know that it's everybody, not just one person.
Well said. Mike Bellone and Bob Barrett, thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
Well, they said everyone's a New Yorker of the Week, so if you know someone, you can call us or email us, in fact, nytonight@ny1.com, or you can send us a letter. Address it to New Yorker of the Week, New York 1, 75 9th Avenue. We're on the 6th floor, New York, New York, 10011. Now here's a quick look at some of the stories we'll be following for you next week. Senator Clinton will talk about the city's rebuilding effort Monday morning. On Tuesday, the City Council holds a hearing to look